Hey guys, it's CrystalRenèe here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thanks for joining. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all what's new with my Monstera Deliciosa and if you can help me identify if I have a variegated Monstera or not. If you like to find out exactly what I'm talking about, keep watching. So for those of you that may be new to my channel and have no idea on what I may be referring to in this video, I'm going to give you a little backstory on this Monstera Deliciosa. When I first received this plant, it was completely green. The leaves were pretty small and it was just a baby at that point in time. This was back in May 2019, right before I decided to separate the plant and right before I realized I had a Monstera because it was labeled philodendron. Going into the month of June, the leaves on the plant were growing but still were solid green. No signs of any variegation. So around September, I had even more growth. The leaves looked like they were starting to lighten up, but I still didn't realize or recognize any variegation in these leaves. I just thought it was the typical color that a Monstera should be, as being this was my first time owning one. So time went on and my Monstera grew and grew. The leaves began to get larger and larger and started showing a bit more detail. And still, no signs of any variegation. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know in November I decided to go ahead and propagate my Monstera Deliciosa. So I just cut off the top of the plant and kept the 3 largest leaves. And at this time, there were no variegation in the leaves. They were completely green and everything was looking nice and healthy. A month later, in this past December, I decided to go ahead and pot it up once the roots had matured, and again, no signs of variegation. Which brings us to today. My Monstera Deliciosa looks like it is completely variegated. It caught me by surprise. I was walking past. Actually, let me be truthful. It's been about a week where I actually paid attention to this particular plant and noticed the texture of the leaves. Now, when I first noticed the different colors on the leaf, it started out as one small little patch. And today, when I was walking past and the sun was shining bright on the leaf, I noticed the 2 different colors. Even if you look here on the back of the leaf, it is 2 different colors as well. So my first thought was, I hope my plant is not sick. And as I continued to look at the leaf, I noticed that there was no browning. There was no signs of any sickness on the plant for that matter. It looks completely healthy. And the leaf that we're looking at now is the very first leaf that I noticed this discoloration on. So I was a bit confused. Now, mind you, when I first picked this plant up from the market, it was labeled a philodendron. So they had no idea that this was actually a Monstera Deliciosa from the seller. So now that I'm thinking about it, I glance over at the other leaves and realize they have some variegated fenestrations on it as well, but in different areas. Each leaf were completely different. I glanced down at the soil and noticed there was a little yellow casting on the stem, which I never really paid attention to. So as I glance over each one of these leaves, you will notice that they all, in some way, have the variegated coloring to it, but different. Also, I noticed that each leaf, the older it gets, the more variegated fenestrations it has on it. So when I move down to the youngest leaf, it has very slight variegation on it. Then the next older leaf above that, a little bit more. It's a little bit more each time. The leaf we're looking at now that I just uncovered was the second leaf. So as you can see, that the leaf that was covering it was the very last leaf, and it has the most variegation out of all the leaves. I have a new leaf coming, as you can see, and I'm kind of excited to see what this leaf is going to look like. So what do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments below if you think my Monstera Deliciosa is actually variegated, or if you think that it is sick or have some type of deficiency. Please drop it in the comments below, because I am determined to know and find out. And if my plant is sick, I want to give it the best care possible to help regain its health. As of right now, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and wish for the best and hope that indeed I have a variegated Monstera. Or please don't come for me if this is something that all Monsteras have, because like I said, I am new to this. I've only been a plant mom for a little bit over a year, so all this is fairly new to me. So if you have or are experiencing this with your Monstera Deliciosa as well, please let me know in the comments below. I hate to feel like I'm the only one experiencing this, and I would like to know that there's someone else out there going through the same thing as I. As much as I'm wishing for the plant gods to have blessed me with a variegated Monstera, I just don't know. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here watching and taking your time out to do so, because you could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. So again, thank you. And until next time, happy growing. Hey, don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. And until next time, happy growing.